things are so different these days. Why do you think that has been lost, that ability to shape young people, particularly African American young people, with that sense of values and you know, in many instances these days, if a mother said to her son, "Don't embarrass the family," he'd, you know, laugh and say, "What's the big deal? Why, you know?" How is it that we've gotten so far away from that?
You know, that's a good question. It's a tough question. We obviously made a wrong turn somewhere. I think probably one of the steps is you know, babies having babies, so parenting goes begging. You know, parenting is a tough job. It's a 24/7 thing, you know, and it's hard, but somebody's got to do it. And I think we got to a point where we want to be our kids' friends, and they got some rights, you know. You see a story where some kid is saying to his parents, "Well, this is my room," you know, and my oldest son said that to me. "This is my room." Excuse me. So I just asked him, I said, "Well, how do you come by this room if it's yours?" I said, do you lease it?" "No, I don't see you know, a check for some weekly rent. Do you rent it?" I said, "Well, I have no idea how you got it. You got it by designation. We designated this your space, and the designator can undesignate. So when the room starts looking like that, it ceases to be your room and becomes our house. And we don't want our house looking like it looks in this room. So you know, let's get to cleaning." And that famous word they ask you when you tell them to do something, what do they say? "Now?" Well, if I want you to do it tomorrow, I'd ask you tomorrow. So that's some of the things that's lost. You know, I think a lot of folks don't know how to use one little simple word with their kids, and it's no.
No, and stick by it. No, and feel that they can enforce that no.
Well, I had a conversation with Jerry yesterday. I was driving them back to a hotel. I said, you know, with kids, you know, you got to be very consistent. I mean, you don't go off half-cocked and do things crazy like you grounded for 6 months. That's unrealistic, because who's going to inconvenience? It's going to inconvenience you. I mean, you know, a week, 3 or 4 days, that's reasonable, you know. But it's hard. It's very hard. I mean, boy, it takes a lot of energy. I mean, you're working and you got to come home and fight with them, you know. But in the end, I mean, you know, you don't have to scream and holler at them. Because at the end of the day, I mean, who's going to decide what's going to happen? If you got a 16-year-old deciding for you, you got a serious problem. You know. I know my oldest son told me one time, said, "Man, I used to think you were crazy." I said, when you deal with insane people, I can't get to you by being sane. You know, we got to do it in kind, you know. But we have to be like sons. I have 3 sons of decent people. And that's all I ever asked them. I said, "Look, man," I said, "all I want you to do is," because at the end of the day, when all the judging comes, I mean, like for me, I mean, all these honors and accolades and all that, fine. But at the end of the day, it doesn't count for a hill of beans, man, if you're not a decent human being. It's that simple.